Of all the top performers I've worked with over the years, I think the common characteristic they share is an amazing ability to focus. They can focus so deeply, they just get lost in the task that they are doing. Now, what's the average attention span of an adult? Or do I have to repeat the question? What is it? 40 minutes? 20 seconds? Yeah, male or female, we'll talk about that in a moment, yep. 7 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, most people say 15, 20 minutes. The average attention span of an adult is 10 to 40 seconds. 10 to 40 seconds. Psychologists in the US are talking about a new condition called ADT, which stands for Attention Deficit Trait. And this means that adults' brains during the day while they're at work mimic a child's brain with ADD. They don't have ADD, but they act like they do. They are easily distracted. They can't focus. They touch lots of stuff, but don't finish much of it. This is becoming rife in society. And entrepreneurs, you're the worst. Two main reasons. The first thing is something called ADH, which stands for Attention Deficit Habits. And these are habits that train our brain to be unfocused. So for example, leaving your email open all day as you're working is an ADH habit. So you're working away, the alert goes off, you think, I'll just check that. You check it, you put out the file that's attached to it, you come back, what was I doing? What was I doing? Oh, that's right, start to get into it, then the phone rings, someone comes and asks you a question. The average employee in an office is interrupted every 3 minutes. The average person spends 28% of their day recovering from distractions. A third of our day is spent getting back to what we were doing before we're interrupted. So the first reason why we're getting ADT is we have trained our brain to be unfocused. It rarely gets a chance to do it. All right, the second reason is that for too long we have prided ourselves on something called multitasking. All right, this one's going to be controversial. Now, what's the definition of multitasking? Doing several things at once. So doing more than one thing at the one time. Now, new brain research in the last 5 years has shown as multitasking doesn't exist. You can't do it. It is impossible for the brain to consciously focus on two things at once. What it's actually doing is something called switch tasking. It's just switching between two tasks very, very quickly backwards and forwards. Now, before I go any further, I know there is a burning question in this room about multitasking. Is there a gender bias on multitasking? Who's better at it? Women? Usually I get more enthusiasm from... Fellas, do we agree? Like, just agree for safety reasons. Just agree. All right, now every woman in this room sitting there going, I know I can multitask better than a male because I know the average male has the attention span of a border collie. Is there any truth to this? There actually is. The brain is simply two halves whacked together. Where they're joined is a bunch of nerves that makes the right and left hemispheres talk to each other. In women, this part of their brain is thicker. Don't go there, by the way. So simply, the female brain can switch between tasks quicker than a male brain can. But fellas, did we need science to tell us that? No. Come to my house, you will find this out. When my wife is cooking dinner, she's on the phone, she's making lunch for tomorrow, she's unpacking the dishwasher, she's rearranging furniture, she's doing everything. When I'm cooking dinner, the door is closed, phone's off, not allowed in. Comes in, I get angry, say, Chris, you know I'm trying to boil an egg in here, I have to focus. Here lies the problem. We usually try and multitask everything. Like, we rarely actually sit and focus. I had a coaching session before I came here, and it went for an hour and 15, and the woman I was coaching, 45 minutes, started to fidget. Like, really weird. She couldn't sit still, and I said, what's wrong? So I haven't left my BlackBerry for that long, for 45 minutes. She said, can I just check it? She could not be away from a BlackBerry for 45 minutes. She couldn't sit and do one thing for an hour and 15. So the problem with this is that it's trained our brain to be scattered. And a study out of London from King's College compared people who'd been multitasking all day to people who were stoned. Now, what they found is the stoned people outperformed the multitaskers on everything they were given. So what's the moral of the story on that one? It's not get stoned, no.